Let's talk about a team out west that could compete against the Celtics in the NBA Finals this year. The Minnesota Timberwolves, they're the team that's up for our NBA preview. George, how do you feel about the Timberwolves' upcoming season?
Man, I'm excited to see this one. I want to see the jump that we get from Anthony Ountae because we saw what he did of carrying that team, being on the spot, wanting the ball in his hand late in games, and just honestly having like the sports world in the palm of his hand, which bled into the Olympics. But we saw his legs run out. Like, he just simply didn't have any more juice towards the end. Cool. Bet. Go into the offseason. How do you hit the weight room? How do you hit conditioning? How do you come back to get your body through an 82-game regular season and then win 16 games in the postseason? Because that's what it's all about. And however long that can end up taking as well. I'm excited. I look at this team, and when you do think about it, you go, what can they be? They could be Western Conference champions. I wouldn't be shocked at all. It's because of Anthony Edwards. It's because of how they attacked the draft as well, getting a Terrance Shannon Jr., trading after he was drafted for Rob Dillingham, a guy we both love. We were like, yo, wait. Because it was San Antonio, right? We're like, the Spurs got him with Wemby?
Yeah.
Like, and then they traded him to T-Wolves. I'm like, why would San Antonio do that? But I love that the T-Wolves did that because that's a shot creator, a slasher, and an NBA-ready guard to play off of Anthony Edwards. The question is, man, and this is where the red flag is with this team. You got to go through green flags. You got to go through red flags. It's just like when we're on dating apps around Boston, right? I'm 2 years retired, though, luckily. What is the red flag with this team, right? What's the red flag with this date to go to the NBA Finals? It's two, Rudy Gobert and Karl-Anthony Towns. I love what Ant-Man pulled out of Karl-Anthony Towns to breathe confidence into him, but they hold it back. And it's because of how big their cap hits are and how they're already over the second apron. Like, if it doesn't happen now and they have to break things up, it's going to be because of those two too. Like, it is. It's for every team, but it is. The window is right now before it gets shut for this creation of the Timberwolves.
Yeah, the window is now. Like you said, it's going to go on Karl-Anthony Towns. It's going to go on Rudy Gobert. But everyone got paid, George. Everyone got paid. So their window is super, super short, even though they're a young team. You talked about Rob Dillingham. You talked about Terrance Shannon. They're guys that are going to help them out in the future, and it's going to be there for forever. But Rudy may not. He might have to get moved on. Cat may not. He might have to get moved on eventually because everyone got paid. They got paid. Ant got paid. McDaniel got paid. Everybody gets paid in Minnesota. And when you got 75 owners and we don't know who's owning the day and owning tomorrow, you know what I mean, type of situation with a small market team, that second apron is scary as heck. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be a team that has to go out there and win right now. And I think they did that in the draft. Like you said, getting two young guards who are ready to play NBA basketball today. That's what they went and got. Guys who are going to bring instant offense because we, as an NBA fan, you and I know that them losing Kyle Anderson was a huge loss for them this offseason. You know what I'm saying? Huge. So if these two young guys can come in and kind of add to their team and be good players immediately, that would be fantastic. You would pat the GM on the butt, tap Coach Fitch on the back of the back and say, hey, man, you guys did that, So they're really going to have a tough time because their timeline is so small for a team that's just now starting to figure it out. But, man, you get to me in February, ask me then, like, hey, Tay, do you think this team is a finals team? If they're sitting there at like 40, 45 wins, I might look at you and say, hey, George, this team is legit. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see.
I'm not afraid to speak finals with this team. I'm afraid to speak finals with the Nuggets. Like, as crazy as it is, I hate the Nuggets offseason. I like what the T-Wolves did with their offseason. But you're right. I mean, you lose Slow-Mo. He's a guy, whether it's been with the Timberwolves, with the Grizzlies, with the Spurs, just to name a few of his stops. He's always been a significant piece. Terrance Shannon Jr., a little smaller. He does have a big build, but he's not as long as Kyle Anderson. At least he has it on both ends of the floor, like a good defender at Illinois, a good offensive player at Illinois as well. And Dillingham, we know, can get downhill and get buckets. It'll look different, but I feel like Terrance Shannon can help fill, would not do it himself, can help fill that Kyle Anderson void. Because you get into the postseason, guys like slow-mo matter. What I'm excited for, they brought my boy Naz Reid. He's still there. My boy from Jersey, who is huge, especially matching up on the perimeter, brings that shooting he's tall, but a thinner forward where he could play that 5, that 4, but match up and defend people on the perimeter. You could trust him there, and he can shoot. I love Naz Reid. It's interesting how they can replace Kyle Anderson, but they got 82 games in the regular season to figure that out. I'm not worried about this team first round, second round. I think this is a team, Western Conference Finals floor, Finals ceiling. Am I able to say NBA champion yet? No, because the Celtics loom on the other side. But if they get into the finals, I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, definitely not ready to say NBA champion because the way the Celtics look like they are prepared, it looks like it's already a done deal. You might as well give Tatum his pinky ring right now. George, I don't, really like any of the bets that I've seen. I think I kind of like hitting the over of 52.5 wins this season for the Timberwolves, but I'm not really sold on that one just yet. Are there any bets from this team that you like?
Anthony Edwards, MVP 13-1. I mean, it's a narrative award, right, Tay? And Jokic and Doncic and Giannis are the 3 best players in the league right now. And SGA is about to come up and get into that combo. But I just think the Nuggets do fall off of the back-to-back long seasons they had, including the Olympic run by Nikola Jokic. Doncic, I just don't know what we'll get from him. Giannis could be the wild card and come out even more motivated than ever and being back to be the effing dog that he is. But Anthony Edwards is is just like the diamond in the eye of everyone that watches the NBA. He's the most charismatic guy. The league loves him. Writers love him. He's so good that because of the narrative, and he's an elite baller, bro. At 13-1, I think that's a really good number on Anthony Edwards. I would be surprised if he wins MVP because I think it would be an SGA, a Luka, maybe a Giannis or Tatum enters a combo. Maybe a Jalen Brunson plays party record because of the Knicks. But again, I'm thinking narratives. 13-1 for a great narrative like Anthony Edwards. I do like that.
Yeah, you know what I'm just thinking of, and I haven't looked at the numbers, right? I would kind of like to see what the numbers are for Gobert winning Depoy again. You know why? Because we talked about disrespect and being locked in and all that other stuff. We talked about the disrespect that Tatum and Brown saw, throughout the offseason with Team USA and all of that stuff this summer. Rudy kind of had the same. You know what I mean? He had disrespect coming from France. He got benched. He was supposed to be their best player. We know Wemby is, but he's supposed to be their premier best player on their team, right? He's coming off the bench for them later in the second half of that Olympic run. And then on top of that, today, Shaq is over here on Complex talking about, Rudy Gobert is the worst player of all time and all this other stuff. And Gobert basically was hitting the rich homie Quan and got no pride, make you feel some type of way. Hey, I'm shining, me will make the type of work. You know what I'm saying? So rest in peace, Rich Homie Quan. I just had to get that one out. But, Gobert's over there basically saying, why you pocket watching, bro? Like, you mad because I'm making money? You mad because I'm shining? Like, stop doing that. So it seems like he's disrespected and feels disrespected. And if he comes locked in, like we know Tatum, Brown are going to be after this summer, he could be a guy that wins Depoy over Wemby again.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. I think Wemby should get, just the way he eliminates shots, let alone defends them. But I think Wemby's more of that. He's not there yet. He's going to be the MVP combo. You and I are like, every day you're like, is it the GOAT? Are we witnessing a GOAT? And I'm like, bro, I'm not afraid to talk about that yet. I'm not afraid to talk about an all-NBA guy. But no Wemby talk to the Gobert. He's been disrespected in the past. Does this light it up even more? I hope so. End of the day, I know that a game, maybe a series clincher, it comes down to if Karl-Anthony Towns can show up, and that's what I'm afraid of. Mentally, I know what Anthony Edwards will bring for entire postseason. Mentally, physically, all of that. But I just don't know what we will get with Cat. And Gobert is somewhat the same thing, but he does his role, and he does it well. Yeah, Shaq's just hating. All that money he gets, though, bro, Shaq got paid. He's worth so much. If he was around today, he would get dogged like Zion for out of shape he is. Kobe wanted to kill him for that. I was hesitant to say it. I don't want to go as Shaq. I love him. But, that's a fact. So for him to do it now, it's like, bro, look who's talking. Like, you're perfect. You ain't got no flaws? Come on now.